Why does everything have to be so complicated?
It's not just the mind, skin also needs therapy.
Now if I give you a pretty face versus good heart, the first impression, what would you choose?
Pretty face.
I'm all for it. 9, 10 out of 10.
Hi, I'm Prapti and I come from a very everyday family, which means there are 3 of us, and we all had 3 respective bars of soap. And it worked out perfectly fine for 2 people in the family, and I'm not one of them, which means I started breaking out at the age of 14. And from what was prevalent at that point of time, it was that if you have oily skin, you need to keep it as dry as possible so that you don't break out. Which is a myth, which means if you dry out your skin, you might break out even more. So to tackle myths and trends and everything skincare that confuses us, we have with us Dr. Vrushali. Hello, doctor.
Hi Prapti, how are you?
Just striving, surviving. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So, doctor, I'm coming to you on behalf of the masses, you know, the naive people who consider skincare very hectic, and that includes me. Because when I look at my parents, they had to do nothing. They practically actually just drank water and everything worked out really well for them. And I thought melanin would work out in my favor and I would like have to do nothing, but that's clearly not the case. So, can you like help with the heart palpitation that comes along with skincare? Why, like what routine should I follow? Or what will happen if I don't have one?
So let me talk about what will happen if you don't have one, okay? In that context, I come across a lot of people who often come and tell me that, you know, I don't care about my skin. I'm not conscious about the way I look. But I'm yet to find someone who says, I don't want a good skin. Or, you know, I don't mind not having a good skin. Everybody likes to have a good skin. The problem here is they don't know how to go about it because they don't have a skincare routine, or they feel they have an impression that it's too complicated, or it's probably too expensive, or they have to go to a dermat, only then can they have a good skin, you know. So precisely that is the reason why most people don't have a skincare routine. And what will happen if you don't have a skincare routine? You'll have a dull skin, uneven complexion, unexfoliated skin heaped up on your skin, giving it a bad texture, patchy look. So overall a dull, uneven, rough skin.
Doctor, I care about my skin a lot, okay, like a lot. I want very shiny skin, and what the trend is right now, dolphin skin or glass skin. I want all of that. But the problem is, like you said, it's expensive is what my mindset is, and the fact that I'll have to go to a dermat and have appointments. And also this very intimidating 10-step routine, etc., that people are, you know, showing on the internet. Now, for some people that is like, it calms them down and it's therapeutic. For me, I can't do that.
Yeah.
So, is that the only way to go about it, or like there are easier ways?
So see, I have a very interesting perspective on this. Supposing you brush your teeth every day, do you?
Yeah.
Twice a day sometimes, right? Now, if I tell you, you have to do 10 steps to brush your teeth, would you be doing it every day?
No.
No, right? Brushing has been simplified so much that it is at spinal level for us. Why can't we have a skincare routine like that? Why do we need to have a 10-step routine?
So,
why does everything have to be so complicated? And I'm not blaming it on people individually as such, because there's so much information bombarded to them on a daily basis, whether it is social media, whether it's internet, whether it's WhatsApp. You know, you have so much of information out there. What I personally believe is, if something is simple, only then can it be sustainable. If it is not simple, you'll do it for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, and then you go cold turkey. You'll absolutely stop doing it because you're done and dusted with it. So I feel a skincare routine has to be simple, sustainable and effective at the same time.
Okay, so you're saying that I don't have to go through a very strenuous 10-step.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. In fact, when I recommend, like when I write a prescription to my patients, I don't give them 10 creams to apply. I make a list, I make 2 lists. Okay. So there is a negotiables, which is could be time mile to lagana, and then there are the non-negotiables. Non-negotiables is must-haves. That has to be a part of your routine every single day. Okay, so when I'm talking about a non-negotiable, it's basically a cleanser, a face wash is a must that you like, that doesn't dry up your skin too much or doesn't leave it too oily. Sunscreen, which is a absolute must. You cannot do without a sunscreen. And the third thing is a moisturizer. Whatever trauma your skin is bearing throughout the day, you need to have something that is going to like cement it up or heal it, which is what a moisturizer does. So these 3 are your non-negotiables. Does it sound easy?
Yeah,
having a
just
3
think
things
that-
to do?
Yeah, but just to think that even skin goes through trauma. Matlab,
It does, right?
What you're saying is it's not just the mind, skin also needs therapy.
Yes.
And it should be in the same order. Cleanser, then moisturizer, then sunscreen. Could you please explain the order to me?
So, yeah, more or less the same routine. Obviously, you start with a cleanser because you have to take away the dirt, grime, oil that is there on your skin. But sometimes the cleanser also takes away some extra moisture from your skin, which is why you follow it up with a moisturizer. So, that is like an immediate band-aid that you apply on your skin. And the last thing on your face is always a sunscreen, because you need to have a layer of protection on top of your skin that is going to protect you from all the harmful effects of ultraviolet radiation, blue light, any kinds of lights for that matter.
See, there are people who are very disciplined. They wake up, they go through their daily routine, even work out, and then go for work. And then there are people like me who will wake up, not brush their teeth, have coffee, go back to sleep. It's possible. And then I'll get late and then I'll rush out. Bathing is optional. Don't be like me. So, for people like me who are always scattered and rushing, is there a midway where I can skip this and just still have good skin?
So, okay, you can't do the 3-step skin, I understand. But you will cleanse your face at least, even if you don't have a bath. Would you do that?
If you say so.
Yeah. So, I make it a little simpler for you. I can have you use something which has a moisturizer and sunscreen in it both. So, you completely bypass 3 steps and you just cleanse your face and you use a product which has the both of them in it.
Okay.
That make your life easy?
Much. Thank you. So, doctor, when you say a hydrating product or a protecting product, what exactly happens on the skin? Like, how does that glow come about? What really is going, underneath the cell?
So, now imagine your skin to be like a wall which has a lot of bricks in it that is held together by cement. Okay. Now, the bricks are like your skin cells, your keratinocytes, and the cement are your natural moisturizing factors which are within your skin. Now, what will happen when your wall is subjected to the pollution and wear and tear and monsoon and summers from outside? The cementing substance will dry up, right?
Yeah.
The bricks will not be held together and they'll tend to fall,
Yeah.
allowing the outside dirt or pollution or whatever that is to come inside the skin and destroy the house within.
Okay, the sealant, what you
Yes,
call.
exactly. Now imagine if I put a plaster on top of this wall, so it kind of seals the cement, doesn't allow the things of inside to go outside or outside to go inside.
Yeah.
So the cement is your moisturizer or your hydration, what it does.
Okay.
Now on top of this, if I put an emulsion so that the sun when it falls on the skin or on the wall, it is actually reflected or scattered away. It doesn't go inside the skin. So I'm basically increasing the longevity of this wall to stay the same for longer periods of years. So that is exactly what I mean by when I say using a moisturizer and a sun protection, because I'm not, on one hand, I'm repairing on a daily basis the damage that is happening to the skin, and on the second hand, I'm preventing any new damage to happen to the skin. So I'm balancing both the things and giving my skin the ultimate protection that is there.
Okay. Does toner really play a very important role?
You know, CTM is what they call it, cleanser, toner, moisturizer. That's a very European way of looking at things.
Okay.
It based more on their skincare, their skin type. But toner per se, I personally absolutely don't like it. I don't endorse it at all because toners are generally alcohol based. So you cleanse, you tone with an intention that it is going to magically shrink my pores, and then you seal it with a moisturizer fast. But if you completely skip that process altogether, your moisturizer will actually be able to give you a better result, you know, as opposed to using a toner.
There will be many people out there like me who consider skincare as an equivalent of mathematics. So I used to get 40% और मैं बहुत खुश होती थी क्योंकि वो पास है, ठीक है? तो मैं पूछ रही हूँ if like what is the bare minimum, like work smart not hard that I can do which will still give me amazing skin, but we still want those results only.
Okay. So this is something which I get a lot during my skincare consultations. Okay. Everyone is like, what is the secret? सबसे कम क्या करना पड़ेगा to get a glowing
Easiest
skin?
way, yeah.
So I tell them this very simple formula that I have. एक part तो is genetics. You know, if you've got good genes, you'll have great skin. जिस पे अपना कोई control नहीं, so let's not go there. But then 70-80% of the reason why you could have amazing skin could just be divided with nutrition, hydration, protection.
Okay.
And then the remaining 10-20% is the treatments that you do, whether it's an anti-aging cream or an anti-pigmentation cream or the dermat procedures that you do. But the core of your good skin health is nutrition, hydration, protection. Nutrition becomes a different specialty altogether. There's a lot of culture, food habits, lifestyle habits in this. But hydration protection is hydration from the water that you drink and the moisturizer that you apply, and protection from ultraviolet rays, blue light and pollution, which is by a sunscreen. So yes, it wouldn't be very wrong to say that if you take care of these three things, nutrition, hydration and protection, you can be very close to achieving an amazing skin, provided you don't have a problem skin like an acne or a pigmentation or something like that. But these two things can pretty much cover most bases.
If I talk about skincare right now, I can equate it with perhaps many other people, including my dating life. Okay, it's like we're swiping because we've got so many options.
Right.
And the better marketed the product, the more it is, you know, attractive.
Yes.
So in this scenario, how do we choose, not the boy, skincare product?
Right. So Prapti, you just mentioned your dating life. I'm going to dig deep. Okay. Now if I give you a pretty face versus good heart, on the first impression, what would you choose?
Pretty face.
Pretty face, right? So that's exactly what happens with skincare products as well. Something which is in a beautiful bottle with a very nice fragrance, which is beautifully packaged, you tend to get attracted more to it, right? Also, when you have an influencer with a lot of followers talking about it, you know, applying it in a very fancy manner,
Yeah.
you know, you obviously tend to get attracted to it. Also, there are a lot of trending things that happens, you know, on Google, like there'd be like a ceramide or a niacinamide or a hyaluronic acid, and everybody wants to have a piece of the cake. Also, if you just type something on Google, that also gives you so much information. So the confusion is bound to happen because of TMI, too much of information. So what you really need to tackle this confusion is a science-backed product.
So, I mean, we come from this ancestral knowledge as well, right? Because we have our parents telling us use turmeric with, you know, milk and apply it on your face, and that is good. And then there are these vegan products, and then
Cruelty-free products.
Cruelty-free. There is, yeah, exactly. There's so much happening. Where do I know the research begins and, you know, ends? Where do I know that, you know, science has come into picture?
See, I'll tell you a simple example. You see an influencer on Instagram promoting a skincare product. So she's saying, this is the product. This is where I used it. Probably say a dark circle cream. I used it over here. And it worked great for me, my dark circles went away. Perfect. This is what we call in scientific terminology an anecdotal story. Anecdote is a story. What happened with that one person, okay? But when I write a science-backed product, in addition to my personal experience of using that product over hundreds of patients, that knowledge about that product has come from a medical book or medical literature or the journals where multiple doctors, multiple scientists, researchers have done years and years of research and a very systematic research at that, okay? Not just ki tumko kaisa laga, it's about how much product they used, how much result, they quantify the result, what was the side effect profile. They did comparative studies. So there's a lot of R&D that happens when you go for a science-backed product which is tested on thousands of patients as opposed to doing a testing on an individual influencer who is using that product on herself and she says it works for her. What works for her may not work for you because she doesn't have the science backing that a science-backed product has.
Or the same skin type also. Okay, yeah, okay. What are the products that you recommend that people with acne-prone skin should look at, or what are the ingredients we should be looking at?
So there are a lot of ingredients, but in general, what you should be looking at it has to be essentially non-comedogenic. It's generally written on the product. Okay. When I say non-comedogenic, it means it doesn't have a tendency to clog your pores and cause comedons. Comedons are nothing but blackheads and whiteheads. So product should mention that. Secondly, I think fragrance free is what a product should mention because most of the people who have acne are using some or the other anti-acne cream that tends to dry up your skin and make it a little more sensitive and irritable as well. So having a fragrance is a very solid irritant. So the product has to be fragrance free. Gentle products, very important. You can't have a harsh product given to an acne person because he's already using these products which are irritating his or her skin. So these things you cannot, so all skin types is generally the normal skin types. That's what they mean. But acne prone skin, you have to be extra careful. And lastly, a product which is as close to the skin pH as possible because that would be really gentle on the skin. So non-comedogenic, number one, very important, fragrance free and near skin pH.
Right now, if we look around us and if we look at the reigning standards of beauty, there is a certain skin type that is prevalent. There is a certain way that beauty has been shown to us and healthy skin has been shown to us. It's like flawless, no dark circles, no blemishes. There are times when, you know, freckles come in as the new trending thing and otherwise it's not. But is it possible that imperfect skin can be healthy? Is it possible that there is pigmentation but the skin is healthy, that there is acne but the skin is healthy? Is there a possibility for that?
So when I say I have healthy skin, it means I have well hydrated skin. I have a good texture. When I say I have a good texture, I mean to say it's not rough. So when light falls on my skin, it gets reflected and doesn't get scattered, which is why you see the glow from the cheeks when it comes, right? I have open pores, but they are not clogged. Okay, a lot of people have this question that, you know, how can I get rid of open pores? They are not windows that can be closed or opened. They are just there. What you can ensure is they are not getting clogged. You do get occasional acne once in a while, you know, you can have a premenstrual or a pre-cycle flare-up. You can still have acne scars. That's a telltale sign that an acne has been there in the past. So your skin will have a uniform color. But having said that, your under eyes would be a little darker because the skin there is a little thinner. Your underarms will be a little darker because of the friction. Your groins will be a little darker. There's a chance your elbows, knees, knuckles are all going to be darker. So this is all healthy skin. This is not imperfect skin. When you see something like that on the camera, there's a lot of body makeup. There's a lot of photo editing. There's a lot of filters that are used. So that is not the idea of a perfect skin. Or a healthy skin, even for that matter. You don't even know if they are healthy just because they are looking perfect. So healthy and perfect are not mutually inclusive.
So by now we have established that you're completely against pretty packaging.
Yes.
And fragrances.
Yes.
So what is the one thing that you actually look for in a skincare product? Like what is it that just clicks?
So let me come back to the fact that we are a tropical nation, okay? So anything which is heavy on the skin will neither be acceptable to the person, nor the doctor who is prescribing it. So when something is lightweight, water based, it is very easily absorbed into the skin and it doesn't feel very heavy on the skin. So if I were to choose an aesthetic quality, it would be lightweight.
Okay, something that's sitting very lightly on
Yeah,
the
and you
skin.
don't even feel like that you're wearing something.
All right, okay. I have PCOS, and I'm sure now it's so common, like 2 out of 3 women have PCOS. So our skin is never going to, be even throughout our lives. It's not like, for me personally, there are breakouts that happen for no reason at all. And is there any basic skincare advice that you would have for people with PCOS and PCOD?
See, so for PCOS and PCOD, I can't have a basic skincare advice. It will be more of a customized skincare advice because, oily skin, dry skin, open pores, how much of acne, how severe the acne. But there are some non-skin things that I would like to tell a PCOS person.
Okay.
Number one, make physical activity a part of your life. It's super important, 5 days a week. It could be anything. It could be brisk walking, it could be Zumba, it could be weight training, it could be running, jogging, anything, dancing, whatever rocks your boat. But make it a part of your life. Increase the protein content in your diet. I personally don't like to be told, don't eat this, don't eat that. I would rather be told what you should increase in your diet. So automatically the carbohydrate craving goes down. When you increase the protein content in your diet, that works very well. Increase the good fats in your diet, the nuts, the ones that contain omega fatty acids, increase that in your diet. Increase the antioxidants in your diet. So incorporate a whole fruit as a part of your daily routine. So these small things will help you reduce the number of your dermat and gynac visits that you would need. You will obviously need your dermatologist and your gynecologist as your trusted partner in your PCOS journey, because it's not like a fever or an infection कि 4 दिन का course किया और ठीक हो गया. It's going to be with you for life.
Yeah.
So you're going to need these two partners, but by doing these things, you can reduce the frequency of your visits.
Okay. So everybody has to work out.
Yes.
Okay. It's not a lazy girl aesthetic, guys. You mentioned trekking as being a part of your, lifestyle almost, the Everest Base Camp summit that you were part of. Is there a particular skincare that you would recommend to people who go trekking?
Sure. So firstly, trekking is a whole different ball game altogether, You won't be carrying your fancy caps and your 3 pairs of shoes when you're going for trekking, because anyone who's ever been a trekker will know this, that even that extra roll of toilet roll, even that increases the weight on your back when you are at a high altitude. Okay. So what I generally recommend is carry those cleansing pads that are there, which are easier to wash your face, because sometimes you may not get water, or if you get water, the water is near 0 degrees, you don't want it on your face. So those cleansing pads help a lot. And also sunscreen, moisturizer, preferably something which has both of them, so you don't have to carry 2 separate bottles, because at higher altitudes your skin burns and dries up like that. I have seen people coming with burnt out noses walking down from a trek. So just a sunscreen and a moisturizer, and of course a lip balm, because the lips chap a lot, and there's also a lot of pigmentation that develop on the lips while you are on a trek. So generally, not just for treks, people who are into outdoor sports or running marathons or going for their vacations, always I ask them is cleanser, sunscreen, moisturizer, a lip balm. These are the 4 things you definitely carry. Additionally, if you want to carry, probably carry a sheath mask, that is a hydration sheet masks, because they, especially if you're traveling by a flight, that gives you a lot of hydration. Do not carry your actives, do not carry your pigmentation cream or your anti-aging cream, because the temperatures are going to be different, the weather is going to be different. Your retinol in Bombay will give you excessive dryness if you are in America,
Okay.
you know, it is going to give you a lot of dryness. So why carry that? Instead, just carry your supportive non-negotiables rather than carrying your active creams.
Okay. Is there a particular SPF number that you recommend?
So SPF 30 works for most of us Indians because we are brown skin. But if you have a problem skin, like you have acne or you have melasma or you have pigmentation, you need an SPF 50.
Okay.
Anything above that, the sunscreen becomes too greasy.
All right.
For it to be useful, for it to be ease of application wise, SPF protects you against ultraviolet B. And there's something called as a UVA protection factor. We generally say it as plus on our sunscreens. So a UVA plus 3 protection factor protects you against ultraviolet A. So these two, you have to check this when you're choosing a sunscreen. It's an SPF 50 and there is a UVA plus.
All right.
So that's what you should look for, not just the SPF.